Yes, friends. After the pivot table, after the conditional formatting, with using of chart format, we will use the different functionality. We will use this functionality. On the basis of this functionality, we will use same as it is. It's a one type of chart. You can say it's a one type of chart facility. It's a win loss facility. So we can see that facility. We can share my screen. Yes. Now here I for a score, for example, total. Otherwise, as you see that this is a score value. If the total value, if it is a sum value, then sum the particular value. If I'm sum this value, then track this value. This is all our tracking and summing value. Now go for the, this is called as a sparkline. Line, column, win and loss. This is all are the small type of chart. In the previous session, we will also show the chart on the basis of conditional formatting. Now this chart on the basis of win, loss, line, column, facility. So now in this example, we will use the spark line. For example, line, data range, and location. Location is G2 and data range is this one. For example, line. Then okay. Then you can see here one type of spark line is available here. You can use this spark line throughout the whole session. So make sure that you can use this spark line with using of this symbol. If I'm adding the data, otherwise else spark line color, you can add it. Different sparkline here. This is also called as one type of data chart, but this is not exactly known as a pivot chart, right? Pivot chart, this is a different functionality, but this is called as a small chart. Which one we will use from the small chart? We will use the different functionality with using of this chart. Then sparkline is over. We will use the different functionality in the sparkline also. This is a sparkline. I'm the designing in the sparkline. High point, low point, negative point, positive point, first point, last point, high point, and the negative low point. So you can see here high and low point. One dot symbol is available. Which one dot symbol we can use the easily with your data. So it will be used for the data. You can manipulation with your data on the uses of high point and low point. So you can use this negative point. This is a, if it is a negative point, here is a not any negative value. So negative point, but obviously not coming from the negative point. First point, last point, high point, low point, high and low, that is a different. You cannot show that every place is a high point and low point. This is first point and last point, right? Then marker. In between of the data, it is called as a marker color. If you use the marker color on the different places as a different, for as a marker, I will use the red color sign. And now you can see the sparkline color. That is the using of sparkline. Yes, but obviously sparkline is working on the numerical data. So make sure that you have two numerical data. If you have not a numerical data, then you cannot work with this data. If you have a numerical data, then you can work this data, right? This is added the data. If you are editing this data, you can edit it. If the mark color, it's a high point. High point is a different color. A marker. This one is value. If the spark color is this one, you can use it from this one. So you have used the marker line. On the basis of the marker line, you can do everything with your marker line. This is called as a spark line. So make sure that high point, low point and marker line, which will be used with the marker value. So when we use this is a called as a not a perfect chart, but yes, you can see that this chart is automatically updated. So you can use this chart on the basis of you can use the any value. So chart value it will be different from different place. So you can use the chart value in a different place on different type. So make sure that all the chart value will be different on the basis of this one. This is called as a line chart. Right now you have to clear this is a line chart. Line chart will be used from the different line. It will be allowed from the line. You can allow from your line if there are any places. So make sure that you can do with your line with your value. If I am using, for example, if I am using insert and column, the data range. Data range is not valid because here is already sparkline here. Now we will go for the data range. It's not a data range. Now you can use this data range value on the basis of this line. So you have to use this line up, down, value is a low, up. For example, this value is 900, 1, 2, 3. So this is up and down value. It's a count from whole this up. This is up, down, columnar value, sparkline value. All this value it will be allowed at this point. So make sure that here is also high point, low point is also available. You can use this point. If you use the marker color in a different, this is not any negative point, but positive point also. So we can use this marker color also. We can use high, low color if it is changed the high, low color. Then we can use this high, low color on the changes of this value. So we can add it for this value. So this is called as a sparkline. High point, low point, first point, last point, columnar value, win, loss, light, column. This all are the value. Which one we will put out the value on the basis of data chart. This is called as a data chart. This is not called as a columnar chart. You can use this chart on the basis of particular value. Sparkline, this is columnar chart, right? Inside. If I'm saying that win and loss, this is called as a win and loss chart. High point, low point. If it is a negative point, if any negative point, you can see this the negative point. So you can use this point on the basis of win, loss. On the basis of this value, we have to find out the particular value about win value, loss value, high value, low value. So we can use this value. Spark color, we will use this spark color. Yes, we will use this spark color value on the basis of spark color. I will be use this spark color. So win loss value, lossing of this value. So we will use the spark color value. This is all at the spark color. You want to use the spark color for any of the places. So you will be do this spark color value. On the basis of the spark color value, you have to put out the value. and calculation with this value you have to done with everything. So make sure that you have to done with spark color, and on the basis of spark color, sparkline, you have to use this value. Have to use this value. So make sure that it will be used the particular data on the particular time, particular points. This is more usable from your side. So spark color in this is called as a small chart. We want to use the small chart. On the basis of the small chart, we will use the spark color point, right? If I am using the spark color, and on the basis of spark color, I will put out the color value will be also changed, data value will be also changed, all the value will be changed on the basis of this one value. So we will divided columns means the sparkline, subject 1, subject 2, roll number, name, and we have to divided this value on the basis of this one. So line, column, being, loss, this value. This is called as a spark line. If I am putting the slicer, we cannot put the slicer because here it's not any pivot table. So we cannot put any slicer value here. This is called as a slicer value. We want to use the slicer value of the any place of any data. So we cannot change the data here. So we will put the data on the basis of this one. We have to we have to check this value on the basis of this line. This is called as a chart. Now we will call as a hyperlink. If you put out the hyperlink on this data, you can use the existing web page. You can put out any value. We can give the file reference here. So we can click on this file. So we will go for the particular data. So we will, when we are checking this data on the particular hyperlink, we will check it that. If I am putting the text box here, there is a text box. So when we put out the text box, I mean, this is not as a comment box, but this is the one type of text box. You have to write down anything with using of text box. You can write it. So make sure that you can want to, if you have a text box, then you can write the any message and any value. If it is a comment box, then you have to click on the particular value. At that time, comment box is coming. In the text box, all the data you have to write down. We will one type of textual symbol. You can use this text box value. So now you have to clear a small chart. It is called as a small chart. And in the next session, we will discuss with the pivot chart. Yes. Now small chart portion is a clear. Now we have to clear about the pivot chart and pivot functionality. So we have to clear idea about the pivot chart and this functionality. So make sure that all the pivot chart value is completed on this parameter. So we want to go for the big part. This is called as a pivot chart. So make sure that all the pivot chart value is coming from this data. So we can easily calculate the pivot chart value, and we can calculate from the pivot chart value on the basis of we can create the value from this side. So now you have to clear idea about the Sparkline conditional formatting with the data chart value, and next and last is that we will go for the pivot chart, and with the next we will go for the filter command. Okay friends, thank you.